I have a comment.
What's your comment?
I don't think that guys are biologically set to be with one girl. I think men biologically and just in the since the beginning of time, they're meant to have multiple women and multiple children.
Here's the beautiful thing about humans, though. We are not beholden to our base animal instincts, and
Actually,
we have.
You are.
No.
You have your animal instincts, no matter how bad you want to change it.
Right, but I have. There's something called discipline, right? So there's discipline. So perhaps I have a desire. It's like this, if you're in a monogamous relationship, okay, there's another attractive woman, but I've given a promise to somebody to be faithful to them. I'm not going to go fuck her because I've made this promise here.
I don't think men are supposed to be with one.
But see, we as humans, we have the greatest intelligence on the planet, and through that intelligence, we have agency, and we can make decisions, and we have self-control. And through that self-control, we can fight these sort of base animal urges.
I feel like that's still like what we were set to do, like.
Right. So what do you think about laws? So
women were meant to like.
You have something I want.
Babies.
You have something I want.
Yeah.
Say like you have a. I'm trying to think of an example here. You have a wallet with $5,000 in it. I would love to have that $5,000. Perhaps my base animal urge is to take it from you by force. But because of laws, because of agency, because of self-control, I choose not to do it.
Okay. But that's stuff that we made up. I feel like at the core, men, their instinct is to have babies with as many women as possible and spread their seed as much as they can.
Cool.
To become alpha. Really,
sure.
That's
Evo
it.
Psych. I get it.
Yeah.
So you're saying men don't have the self-control to not cheat on their partners? Is that what you're saying?
I think that it just makes sense on why. Because people are like, well, why did you cheat? She was perfect, like blah, blah. Like maybe he really
cheating
loved
happens.
Her. Men cheat out of physical desire. They don't cheat out of emotional. Usually they don't cheat out of emotion. Women cheat out of emotion. Women cheat because there's something wrong in her relationship. For men, you could have the perfect relationship, but still cheat because of that physical desire you had in that moment, because that's just what you're biologically programmed to do.
Okay, sure. I acknowledge that there are men who cheat.
Yeah. No,
and there are men who can also be loyal.
Most men
are cheaters.
Are going to have that desire.
There's a difference between having a desire and acting on the desire.
But Bree, I have to ask just a quick question. So when you said men are, programmed to spread their seed, for a real life example today, someone like Nick Cannon, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that he is respected by men or by women or society as a whole? Because technically he's spreading his seed a lot. But I'm just saying, per your logic, I just don't think that it garners the respect that maybe
I don't
it
think
could have.
Women. Well, honestly, because we have changed the ways we look at life now, how we look at relationships now. Now it's not about who has the most women. It's about, actually, it kind of is about who has the most women. So yeah, because it is about who has the most women. Men are doing all the stuff they do to attract as most women as possible because they want other men to say, oh shit, he has all the bitches. Like, that's really what they want.
What are you even arguing about? You want to date 3 men at the same time.
I know, because back to my thing,
That's degenerate.
Monogamy isn't a human, like, it isn't normal.
For women, it definitely is. You have a point about guys, but for women, they're not pre-programmed to go and spread their eggs. Like, it's not an option for them. They in their DNA, more meant to pair bond with one man.
I just don't think monogamy is normal. That's what I think.
I mean, you can make, if you want to make an Evo Psych argument, you could say that
I don't know about
you could
that
say
one.
that there's a stronger argument to be made that for men to be polyamorous as compared to women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. In my eyes, though, now I'm looking at it in the way, like, it's not fair to ask all that from one person.
So as humans, we have intellect, we have agency, we have self-control, we have discipline. We are not beholden to our base primal animal instincts. Let me ask you a question. You're physically fit, right? Okay. Now, in your brain, when you see, like, do you like cookies, for example?
Yeah.
Like, what's your guilty pleasure when it comes to eating food?
Pasta.
But you don't eat pasta every single meal, right? Because why?
I do eat pasta every single meal.
Shut the fuck up. Okay.
I'm just naturally really
All right. Well,
skinny.
you're young, but okay, maybe I used to eat like shit when I was young and I was super fit. So perhaps that might change, though. But do you not eat healthy at all?
See, kings weren't monogamous to their wives. It's just not normal. Monogamy is not a human normal thing. I don't know where it came from. It causes so many problems.
Monogamy, monogamy is the solution. Monogamy is the ultimate structure for society.
No.
Yes.
Why? Because that's what causes all the problems, all of the divorce, all that.
So the better scenario would be people who would fuck multiple people and end up breaking up anyways? Is that?
No, I think.
What's superior to monogamy?
Communication and honesty. Honesty is superior to everything.
What's the so if it's not monogamy, would it be polygamy? Yeah. What system would be better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in polygamy, you are honest about what you're doing, and that is why it works. Because you are honest about what you're doing. You're not hiding anything. You're not cheating anything.
Couldn't you be honest in a monogamous relationship?
Yeah. I just can't.
It's way harder biologically for them to be honest.
I'm pretty sure they've done studies of like polyamorous like family structures, and there's so much infighting between like the different siblings from like the different parents. So if it's like multiple fathers have like birthed different kids, they just fucking fight with each other, and there's like, it just doesn't work well.
I think it's not fair to ask that for men, for them to be completely with one person, and I don't think
that's fine. It's not the optimum way to structure society.
Wouldn't it be easier if everyone was just like open about what they did? And
well, what if you had a society where there wasn't monogamy, and we're starting to see that, what would end up happening is, if that was the structure of society, probably 70% of men would be totally disregarded by women, and you'd have women who would just all gravitate towards the top men.
So you become the top man. That's what you
do. But you know what ends up happening if you exclude 70% of the male population from being able to pass on their genes and reproduce? That's a great recipe for absolute catastrophic breakdown of society, civil unrest, and just mass violence situation.
Wait, wouldn't that just be like rule out all the like survival of the fittest? Like it's gonna rule out all the like. If there's like, and look, I don't know exactly how this would play out, because I mean, it doesn't occur to me that women are desirous of that scenario, but like, let's say that was the social structure. You can't imagine, like, let's say there was some like top down, like oppressive, totalitarian, authoritarian government or something that was enforcing this sort of, the top 30% of men got all the women. You don't think that 70% of men would band together and be like, fuck the system, we're gonna like overthrow this? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? I'm talking about, wouldn't that lead to a better society? Because it would rule out the weak ones, really. Like, it will rule out the ones that no one really wants.
They're not just gonna like be single and die alone.
You think they're just gonna be okay? The 70% of men are just gonna be okay? Like, that's the end of their genetic legacy?
Well, like you said, the top men, the top 30%.
They're going to suppress 70% of the men?
What you guys are saying is literally already happened. It's what's happening. Like, those top 30%, like what the commenter said, the kings have always had multiple wives or whatever.
Yeah.
That's existing today.
Yeah.
That lower 70% are generally the ones that either have high morals and want to have a monogamous relationship and a nuclear family, or they have no other options. And then the top ones do what they want, whether it's monogamy or it's multiples.
Wait, so are you in favor of?
I think guys actually truly want.
Brian wants it. Brian wants a traditional relationship and monogamous.
Deep down,
The guys that you encounter,
No,
you
that's what
attract
saying. I'm not
because
talking
of who you are. You attract a very certain.
I don't talk to
type
them,
of
so
man.
it doesn't matter. I'm talking about research and shit that I've watched and just literally the beginning of time.
You
I
realize?
do feel like you do attract what you are like, though.
I don't know
You
about
are,
that.
Like,
Go in,
I don't know
Cindy.
about.
Go in,
no,
Cindy.
no, I do.
Go in,
like,
Cindy.
And I don't think all men are, going to cheat on their wives or their girlfriends. Unfortunately, you have those experiences, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, you can't just think that this whole world is just fucked up and now we gotta change the whole society.
No, this is going back to the roots
that's not
of what it was like. That's
okay,
what
but
I'm saying.
again,
But we
back
also
to
used
what
to
Matt just said,
pillage and steal and take whatever we wanted, and we don't do
you
that
don't
anymore.
have to have the stealing and stuff to.
No, I'm saying
have
that was in our
the
DNA as well, to
structure.
take what we want, and now
But
we're a
I
civilized
think
society.
The structure that makes sense is just being with multiple, polyamory, or at least just being open. You don't even have to be with multiple people, but at least be open about when you do and it being acceptable for the person.
It's a thing
to
that happens
want.
now, right?
It
sort of exists already.
I'm not saying you have to fuck 10 girls. I'm saying if we should make it okay that if you're in a relationship and you're with someone, it should be normal to say, hey, I'm having these urges.
Normal for both men and women?
It makes more sense for men, but honestly for both, yeah. So I think it should
Degenerate.
be normal.
It's
it should be
degenerate.
normal for a man to say, hey, I want to have sex with this girl. And that should.
I think it's normal to have human compulsions to do those things, but it's like soul crushing for your partner, and you just don't do it. You don't want to hurt the person that you're with.
Look, if you say I'm not going to
It's not
sleep,
soul-crushing if they accept it, though. That's
They
what
don't
I'm saying.
actually accept it. They don't actually want
That's what I'm
that.
saying. You have to make it acceptable.
degenerate.
I was like, I
How
wanted to say.
degenerate.
I wanted to
That's
say.
how the beginning of time was.
I mean, if you want to talk about
No.
I think-
research,
Actually, for the longest period of time, for let's say if we look at Western civilization, Christianity, all that, 2,000 years, monogamy was the foundation.
So animals stick with one person, with one other animal.
Don't give a fuck what monkeys do. Don't care.
some
But we
animals
are-
do. Some animals
Don't give a fuck.
penguins. Penguins are monogamous. Lobsters are monogamous. There's a lot of animal species
Okay.
that are monogamous.
No, it's
Bree,
just
do you
not
think it's
biologically how we are.
possible? And I'm not disagreeing with you. I think sex is different for men and women, but I also don't reduce men down to that one impulse because I think men are more than that. So I don't think you're wrong entirely, but could you see a world where monogamy as a whole would bring a man more benefits with that one monogamous woman rather than just having blind hedonism across the board? Meaning, yes, he might be declined sexually a bit and he's not getting everything that he wants all the time sexually, but it doesn't matter because holistically she's bringing more to the table. Is that possible?
What do you mean she's bringing more to the table?
Meaning,
How?
okay, I'll boil it down. Okay, monogamy, the man might get less sexual gratification, but the woman would bring more holistically to him. Is that possible?
But what do you mean by
A home, a mother, a person to take care.
Well, imagine if
a
you have
partner.
a home, a nice home that's taken care of by one woman. Imagine if it's taken care of by 3 women. It's gonna be even more taken care of. One woman, asking one person to do one thing, fulfill everything you need in life, is not fair.
I do
It's just not
have to
fair.
move this on, guys. I do have to move this on. I'm going to read a couple chats here.